that brings us to our main
Jesus. All I hear is intermittent cutting out. I hear some...
main event.
Do I not give you enough attention?
No. Main event. It's Jon Moxley and Punk.
It sure was.
It sure was. I want to see when Moxley comes out if you can see us, because he came out like right near where we were.
Oh, yeah.
So we might have been visible on camera.
I think I would have got a text from Mom right away, because I know how close she is to the TV when Moxley's on. I have to imagine I would have known immediately.
Just drooling with the, you know.
Right.
She loves that man. This was a weird one for me. There were a couple of things that were like, like Punk went for that kick that took him out of the last match like a minute in, but he didn't sell it like it meant a damn thing.
Yeah, that was.
He didn't even pause. He just did it and then went along. You know, he didn't take a moment to be like, "Oh, I guess I'm good." Like, at no point did he even acknowledge the fucking foot. Like, Mox went for the fucking foot throughout the match, but when he threw that kick, there was a moment where the crowd was like, "Oh, oh." He didn't do anything with it.
I thought that would be utilized later in the match, like when out of desperation, like he has to defend himself and throws that kick. So yeah, he knocks down Jon Moxley, knocks out Jon Moxley in the process, but at what cost? Because the damage he might have done to his foot. But no, it was just nothing, unceremonious.
Yeah, it was a weird thing, and there were a couple of moments where, in all honesty, at this point, my head was ringing. There were so many people cheering back and forth. Just the majority was cheering for Punk, obviously, but there were still people trying to cheer for Moxley.
Sure.
In terms of spot for spot, I'm spotty on it. You know, trying to remember things that actually fucking happened in the match. It's hard.
I'm the same way. I remember being. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Some of the CM Punk love almost felt forced.
Yeah. Little zip code.
Yeah, I mean, because Moxley's fucking awesome, and we all know that Moxley's fucking awesome. Outside of the one chant of "fuck Ohio,"
yeah,
there wasn't much there.
I'm not the biggest on Moxley.
Yeah, no, I gathered that, but I went right past it because whatever.
Okay, thanks. My opinions aren't worth a mention.
I was talking about Chicago at large. And so this kind of idea that we granted we love CM Punk, but this idea that Moxley was just this giant heel piece of shit who it's like, which wasn't the case. Like he beat him handedly.
He was healing it up a bit though. He kept flipping off the crowd and being like,
question.
Yeah. But I mean, what else can you do?
We loved Moxley.
Yeah. He kept, he was responding to the crowd. The crowd was being like, fuck you. And so he was like, well, fuck you too.
Right.
Like, that's what you should do. And there was another weird thing. I just remembered that they did. They fought into the crowd for all of like a minute. They fought into the crowd, went down one thing, and then came immediately back in, and then they never left the fucking like.
It wasn't like an Attitude Era one where you would like start over here, then they ended up over here, and now they're back on the ramp. And it was like literally they went to this area where Moxley had come in, and then they went right back. It was very strange.
Literally, it was strange. Like a minute and a half.
Yeah,
that was it. Like,
at most.
I get there's COVID going on, but like.
It felt forced.
Yeah, they did it so that they could have a couple clips of outside the ring going on.
Totally.
Yeah.
And again, by and large, I enjoyed the match. I had a lot of fun with the match. I actually really liked the finish, which was Punk hitting the GTS, but him also selling like with Darby. If he hit Darby and Darby went through the ropes, like shit. Well, if he would have went down and he hit it, like he can't get the pin, but he hits it. Moxley falls into the ropes, falls right back over Punk's shoulders as he's kneeling. And like Punk just kind of looks up at the crowd like, well. And then so the second GTS is the finish. And I like that quite a bit.
They milked that moment very well.
Yeah, agreed. But and there was a spot earlier on in the match where Punk hit the GTS rather quickly into the match. And we all bought it as a possible finish because of their initial match.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, are they going to do this one quick too?" And
right. Like, so there was some fun stuff like that. But man, I don't remember a lot of the match, like hold for hold, move for move kind of thing.
Yeah, I think there was was there a figure four at one point?
I think Moxley did a figure four.
Yeah, and then CM Punk flipped him off, and Moxley was like, "How could you?" I was like, "Really? Have you never seen a finger before?"
Right. This was never going to be like. They tried to turn it into a CM Punk is the underdog babyface going in, and like it just was never that for me. Like it was so shoehorned in, and it was like kind of almost seemed. Like they were just going through, not them as in the match, but like AEW was going through the motions to get the belt back on Punk. So this match never felt like a big deal to me. And I think it gets even more drowned out by what happens immediately after the match. And then in turn, what Punk does the rest of the night. So,
so let's go with since we agreed not to go too much into that, let's go after the match. They have the finish, and then CM Punk is celebrating, and then lights cut out. Holy shit! And we had amongst our many guesses and our like, it would be shit if it was Enzo. One of them was we had speculated that it could be MJF, but we had agreed that it would kind of cannibalize his momentum because it would, it would stick him with a fucking jobber crew, and it would be like, well, whatever. And in the previous thing, there was a mix of things that you had said and I had said. I had said that I would expect Moxley to win because I had thought MJF might come out and screw CM Punk in front of the Chicago crowd and yada yada. You had said that you thought MJF might come out and not participate in the crowd in the match at all. Like the Joker would happen, the count out would happen, no one would come out, and then everyone would be tired. MJF would come out, do nothing, and then get the chip. And so there was a mix of that because a voicemail played where it was Tony Khan saying, I'll pay you. I want you to come back at All Out for the Casino Ladder match, and you don't have to sign an extension, but you got to come back for the Casino Ladder match or the deal's off. And then it shows a clip of CM Punk in Ring of Honor of his Snake promo saying, like, I am the devil, tying into the song Sympathy for the Devil. And I even turned to you during the pay-per-view at one point, like, is there a clue in the song? Didn't figure out what the clue was, but it turns out there was a clue in the song.
There's another one as well that I learned after the fact.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. After it was something that happened with MJF and Punk, and MJF was kind of in the right, and MJF ended up getting his ass beat, like kind of run out the ring. So he does a backstage promo, and you hear all the boo, and he goes, "Oh, like even though I'm in the right, we're still gonna boo me. Like what? No sympathy for the devil." He actually says, "What? No sympathy for the devil."
Damn, yeah, so, that's spot on, man. Spot on.
So I would have never gotten that, but again, we have so many internet sleuths now that put that together, and it's like, oh, there is storytelling here.
Yeah. There was a lot of people. Every time there was a match in there that wasn't quite connecting with the audience, everyone was on their phone on Twitter. There was someone behind us that was like, hey, I think it's Matt Cardona. No, I think it's this guy. No, I think it's that guy. Everyone was trying to figure it out all throughout the show. Twitter was a buzz. But finally, the Joker guy with the devil mask comes on, and he takes off the mask, not facing the camera. Then he puts on the scarf, and everyone's like, holy shit! And everyone's cheering for MJF when he finally comes out, totally ignoring the fact that he's supposed to be an asshole. And he even flips off the crowd. Everyone's like, yeah, fuck us, right? Yeah, fuck Chicago. From Chicago. we deserve it. And then Punk raises the belt, and then that's the go home angle. And then Punk gets the mic, and as people are leaving, he says, like, thank you all for coming. I know these like 76-hour pay-per-views are a lot for some people, but for a guy like me, it really matters that people stay for the main event. So thank you all very much. And that was the last thing he said before the media scrum. That was the last public thing he said. So for guys like me, it matters a lot for that people stay for the main event. Now, like we said, we're not going to delve into he said this, they said this, oh, reports say that, but that did stick in my head like that.
And when he said it too, it was like, that was odd. Okay, cool. But
yeah, that sounded a little odd, but all right.
Yeah. It's Punk, so you always take it with, I don't know if that's shade at someone or shade at himself.
Yeah.
If he's taking the piss out of him getting older and his self-doubt, or if he's talking about others who don't quite appreciate I don't know. I had no idea. Yeah. I didn't worry or think too much about it, like we said.
Yeah, because we didn't know